What's up, everybody? This is David Leach. Welcome to the Drinks on Dave podcast, an unbiased, unrelenting, and unfiltered show about everything and anything. So crack a cold one and let's go. Dill Undervvood. Cheers, brother. Thank you. This is Drinks on Dave, episode 4 from Fiddy's Coffee Shop in Kansas City, man. So
thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. This is going to be kind of a chill episode from what we're used to. So, I mean, I'm stoked. I'm honored to have you on, man. Award-winning film composer. Like, let's dive in. I mean, first of all, where are you from?
I'm from here.
From
Kansas City, yep.
Like, where'd you grow up?
I grew up right up north, right down the street.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Went high school, everything?
I went to high school, North Kansas City High School.
Nice.
Yeah, I went to school here.
How was that?
I liked it. It was fun.
I'm Raytown, so
nice.
Growing up, I never ventured out anywhere from Raytown. So, like, now that I've been home, I'm like, North Kansas City. It was actually a place.
Yep.
So you went to, like, the North Kansas City?
Yep, right downtown. Yep.
Did you go to college, too?
No, I did not. No, not.
Amazing. Biggest scam in the
right.
biggest scam in the world, dude.
Exactly.
So what is your, do you have a day job, or is it just?
I have a night job, yeah.
What do you do?
I'm a blackjack dealer.
Nice, man.
Yep.
How's that? Any good crazy stuff coming out?
Oh, all the time.
All the time?
Yeah. You'd be amazed.
Does shit happen like in the movies where people are trying to card count and all that?
Yes.
It really happens.
Yeah, it really does happen. And it's funny because, like, so actually just last week, we had an advantage player. We call them advantage players.
Yeah.
And they try to make a good point to, like, make sure their identity isn't known. And it's so funny because we do know who they are and we do know their names.
Right.
And it's just funny when my boss comes up and calls them out by name. They always just immediately leave.
Is it like the scene from The Hangover where they actually like do they have a buddy like?
Sometimes, yeah.
Damn.
Sometimes they do it that way, yeah. Sometimes.
Wow.
Most of the time it's just them, and they play the tables that have less decks on them because we have 2-deck blackjack and 6-deck blackjack. So they'll usually play the 2-deck blackjack.
Damn, man.
And but we have precautions to keep them from taking advantage of us.
I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on that. That's just, I never knew that really happened.
Yeah,
like
it does happen.
You see it at Casino with De Niro and all that.
Yep, it does
When
happen.
that happens, are you supposed to, I mean, if you can talk about it, I don't want to give away, but do you page somebody or do you just?
No, they usually whenever they come on property, they'll know.
Just know.
They'll know it's them. Or we're also in contact with other casinos because I used to work in surveillance too.
Oh, yeah.
And the other casino will be like, they'll call us up and say, hey, this advantage player, we just kicked him out, or he's leaving. He's probably headed to you, so just be on the lookout for him. They'll send us his name and his picture and all the information about him and stuff. And yeah.
You learn something new. I've seen that shit happen. I've heard about it, but you never really think. So that's your day, like night job.
Yep.
So when did film composing become, like, when did you start doing that?
So
Were you in a band to start?
Yeah, actually. So yeah, I started off right out of high school. Me and my group of friends, we all liked hip hop and rap and stuff, and so we kind of like started our own little rap group, and we just had a little studio in me and my friend's apartment closet, and we invited all of our. It started with just me and him, and we were just kind of doing our own thing. We made a mixtape, and our friends also rap, so we got them to come over and start rapping with us, and it turned into this really cool thing. And I wanted to take it more seriously, start doing shows and performing and stuff, and they didn't really want to. I think it was just fun for them, so.
Was this like, what era is this? Like, what year are we talking?
2012 and 13.
So this is kind of like the Mac Miller era when he was big?
Yeah,
kinda?
I guess so, yeah, and like Odd Future.
So Instagram just came out.
Yeah, pretty much,
so
yeah.
that was kind of the start of that.
Yep,
Gotcha.
yep.
So are you making you obviously making your own beats?
So for our first mixtape, we used just beats off YouTube and stuff, and then I had a bunch of drum sets and guitars and stuff, and I was like, you know what, why don't we just make our own beats? So that was when like me recording started really happening. It's like, I was learning how to record my own instruments, so I didn't have to go to a studio and spend a bunch of money. I could just do it all myself.
You learned to track. Were you using GarageBand, or were you using like the step above that? Because kind of familiar with it.
So we used like a mixture of Fruity Loops, and we
Okay.
used, for actual recording, we used Audacity because it was
Audacity,
free.
Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
So that's where I got started on my recording, was through Audacity.
Is there any evidence? Is this shit online? Can we hear it?
I have some of it online.
That's cool.
Yeah.
SoundCloud.
Yes, I do have some of it on
Nice, man.
SoundCloud, and I have a few of the tracks on my YouTube page too. Like if you scroll down to the bottom, I got a few of them.
Like I said, I wouldn't guess you as a rapper, so that's
Yeah.
badass. Like what? I mean, never judge a book by its cover. Obviously, what's your style like? Like, give me, because you can tell me anything. I'm gonna get the reference.
Well, obviously, Eminem is a big inspiration. Tech Nine, I really like Tech Nine
Yeah.
a lot. I just really like the poetic approach to hip hop, so I like Kendrick Lamar a lot too.
Yeah.
So I guess that was more my style. I was a little more poetic and a little more. It wasn't really what I was saying; it was how I was saying it. You know, using a lot of rhyme schemes just within the words, or just within the lines and the bars. You know, like.
It's lacking that. Rap's lacking that now.
Yeah,
big time.
100%,
That's why Kendrick's
yeah.
really the only one I feel that keeps that.
Yeah.
And if
for
you said
sure.
2012, 2013, that's kind of when he was coming on
Yeah,
too.
yeah, that was a big
Big year for him.
album. The Good Kid, Mad City came out,
Yeah.
and that was like a big. That was on our car radio all the time.
Well, I was in LA. I mean, that shit was on Poetic Justice, all
Yep.
that, like all that stuff was just on loop. I mean,
Yep.
that was a big year for. So I'm guessing your team Kendrick over Drake.
Yes,
You think he won though?
100%,
No bias. He won.
100%. Yeah, yeah, no bias. He definitely won.
That was cool, and it seems like that happened, and then it just like everything else in society now just went away. And no one, I mean, that was a huge beef for like a week or two.
Yeah.
Now it's just old news again.
Well, because Kendrick won, there's no need to go.
It's true. I was that actually was awesome for that week, man. I was glued to like my phone. I was waiting. That was so good for hip hop.
Yeah, it really was.
I'm Team Drake.
Oh, are you?
I love Drake, man. So
Yeah.
that's all. So when did the rapping become into like? What was your first? How did it transition into film?
Well, so it actually went from, so like I said, like we kind of broke up and kind of started doing our own stuff because I wanted to take it more seriously. And I kind of strayed away from doing rap stuff, and I kind of wanted to experiment with like rock and like punk and stuff. And I was doing this, you know, this rapping or this rock stuff, and I felt like I wasn't prepared enough. You know, like I wasn't practiced enough to do it. So I kind of was in a rut for a long time, and I didn't feel like I was going further, like progressing my style or my sound. And so I just kind of, you know, I got a girlfriend, and you know, you get a girlfriend, you kind of forget about the world a little bit.
Absolutely.
And it was like 3 years or something where I was like just not doing anything. And I was like, man, I really want to do something else. And so I think this was 2017, 16 or 17. It was when Robert Eggers' movie, The Witch, came out. And I remember I was laying in bed and I was watching this movie and I was listening to the music. And, you know, it was like one of those epiphanies that just like, you know, you sit up from your bed, you know, it's just like
Goosebumps.
that's what I want to do. And so I feel like the universe was really on my side with that decision because I didn't know anybody in the film world. I didn't know anything about the community that we have here. And I hit up a girl that I knew in high school because I knew she was associated with a lot of the artistic people in around Kansas City because she went to UMKC for art and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just hit her up and I was like, hey, by chance, do you know anybody that does films? And she's like, yeah, I know somebody. And it just kind of went from there.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So that moment is when you knew.
Yeah,
right?
that was when I knew.
The right score can do that, dude.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. That was it.
I was watching something the other day. Like you take away all the good scores on movies, like the scenes suck.
Right.
That's the driving
100%.
force.
Yeah, no,
And it's
100%.
not just like plugging a popular song in a movie. It's the score, man.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
totally.
No, it 100% is.
So-
and that's why I love making it so much is because like, you know, I get to I like it. Yeah, I get to make the whole emotional sound to the film.
So your
It's really
first
great.
film that you did, what was it about?
The first film, I guess it was about like this homeless man and this girl kind of felt bad for him and let him sleep at her place, and he ends up murdering her.
So how did you even go, like, because I'm in a band, so I know when we're starting something, I mean, it starts from scratch. Like, how did you even start it? Like,
Well, that film actually wasn't. That film was a little weird. The first film that I actually feel like I really got to work on, it's actually gonna play at a film festival next month,
nice, dude.
on the 12th Fringe Fest. That was the first film that I actually really got to
Go all in.
really go all in and like find my workflow and like kind of figure out how I go about doing this, because I've never done this before. So it was a film with one of my really good friends, Stephen Shade. It was about a it takes place in an alternate universe with this man spider, and he goes through different dimensions of time and kidnaps people, but he kidnaps them in
like brings
like
them
significant moments in their life, like when they're a child to when they're
Wow.
young adults to when they're elderly.
Yeah.
And that's how he feeds their souls, is by
Holy
kidnapping
shit.
them through. Yeah, it's really cool.
So how did you? What is it? Is the score more like dark, or is
Yes, actually, so
just-
that score was my tribute to the score from The Witch. So I use a lot of the same instruments and a lot of the same sounds, just because I wanted to pay homage to that, to
Who
that.
did the score from The Witch? Like, is that
Mark Corvin.
is that like an idol? Of yours?
Yeah, he's really good. He's done all of Robert Eggers' films, and he is really good. I listen to his
Have you,
music
like, does
quite
he
a
have
lot.
anything online that you've were like podcasts that he's done, or is he weird and like it's like hidden from the world?
No, he tours actually. So he actually got this instrument made for him. He custom ordered this instrument he calls the Nightmare Machine, and it's literally just a wooden box that has like screws and like springs and
That's fun.
little strings. Like, yeah, look it up, Mark Corvin's Nightmare Box. It's so cool. And when I saw that video, it actually inspired me to make a lot of my own instruments. So a lot of the instruments you hear in that specific score, I made a lot of them myself.
That's so fun. See, that's a whole other world inside itself,
Right.
too. It's because there's heavy hitters in every genre, but like score people, you don't think of that. I mean, we talked off camera, which I want to bring it up, but like John Williams, Hans Zimmer, the big dog, like Danny Elfman,
Yeah.
right? What I consider
Right.
the
Yeah.
biggest, one of the
Yes.
biggest ever.
Definitely those three.
But what's your thing with John Williams? Just too corporate?
No, I mean, maybe, yeah. Like, I don't hate his work. It's not like, it doesn't push any envelopes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I watched an interview with Hans Zimmer, and he made a good point. Like, he was, like, I love the soundtrack and the music for Star Wars. I love it. But, like, this is a movie that takes place in space, in the future. Like, and to use just normal instruments,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I felt like he could have been creative and used, synthesizers or like actually make the music sound futuristic, but he didn't. I mean, it worked.
Yeah. Who's like the big dog now in the game? Like your guy, probably.
Hans
Like,
Zimmer, yeah.
Well, no, like the guy that did The Witch and all that. Who does like Blumhouse stuff and all the horror?
Yeah, A24.
Yeah, they're like that's my dream, to be in one of their
Yes.
projects
Yeah,
as an actor.
A24 is really, I love A24, and they're just coming out with things. It seems like they have like 5 films a year.
They're the
or
only
something.
thing to me that has any substance anymore.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
like, honestly, man.
They have really cool subject matter for all of their film. Like, it's not just a haunted house story anymore. Like a lot of it's real psychological, and they're doing a really good job. Yeah.
Well,
Huge fan.
Because I've been doing acting for I have a couple credits, but like every now and then, when something comes out that actually makes you like realize why you wanted to be an actor,
Yeah.
man, they're the only production company in the last 10 years that have done that.
Right. Yeah.
Comedies don't hit like the same anymore.
No.
I mean, I try to look for new stuff, but I'm normally on Tubi watching shit from the 90s, you know, but I mean, I was listening to a score the other day. It was from some I get a lot of TikTok scores now, and that's where a lot of composers are blowing up.
Oh,
Because
really?
they're taking the sounds and
Yeah.
kids are putting,
yeah.
you know,
Putting it over there. Yeah.
I can't think of the name of it, but you know, it's sometimes shit's so beautiful you just cry. Like you can put it over something, your
Anything,
grandma
yeah.
that passed away, or
And that just proves how important music is.
so important. And most of the stuff that blows up on TikTok that I find, it's not even lyrical. It's score.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I know we're scrolling on the same stuff, so I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very important, man. I mean, it's like I said, I was watching a scene from Jaws the other day. I know that's John Williams, but they like took the music out of it. You just have the shark coming up on the boat. I mean,
Yeah.
it's guts the entire movie, just like that.
Yeah.
And
I'm not a hater on John Williams. I just,
he,
I think he could have been a little
he
bit more
got
creative.
the hype of the 70s and the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Yeah.
And the dude's filthy rich from it too.
God, yeah.
I mean, now, like, how does it work with residuals for you? Like, how does that even work anymore?
Well, I just work locally, independent.
For now. but,
Right,
I
for
mean,
now. So based on my research that I've done, most of the time, whenever film composers like do music for a score, they usually just take like, you know, just give me $2 million and I'll do the score. That's usually how it works now.
That's a nice payday.
It's a
I'd
nice
take
payout,
that.
yeah.
I'd take that for sure.
I think the last time I looked, yeah, that's what all three of them, Hans, Danny, and John, are charging as $2 million a film.
Well, who's your dream director? If it's like, I'm talking like, you can go Tarantino or anybody, but like, who's your,
Like that I would want to work
yeah,
with.
yeah, for sure. I mean,
Definitely Robert Eggers, for sure. I would
Wow.
love to work on a Robert Eggers film. And then Tim Burton.
of course.
I would love to work on a Tim Burton film. Although I don't know if I'd be able to do what Danny does for Tim Burton.
The thing is today, man, everyone is so accessible that, I mean, I'm not saying they have Instagram, but most of them have Instagrams. Or normal people, and they
Yeah.
scroll while they're eating breakfast, just like you do.
Just like Quiz, yeah.
So, man, my advice to you, I mean, everybody has their own journey with it, but man, reach out to these people, man. Tag them and shit. Fuck,
Yeah.
why not, man? You never know. I mean, are you union at all? Or are you freelance?
I'm freelance, yeah.
That's a good way to stay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think.
freelance, yeah. I
'Cause-
don't want to.
Well,
it's a little. Sorry,
no,
continue.
go ahead.
No, it's a little difficult because, you know, I have to look for my own work, and that's the part I don't like doing. That's the only thing I don't like about it is
Is there agents for composers?
I've tried to find, I've looked for them because, you know, that would take just so much stress off of me to have an agent or a manager of some sort to do all that for me. I'm sure they do. A lot of them that I've found, they just do acting.
Yeah,
So-
because I mean, the way my agent works is, I mean, they only call you when they get something. but,
Right.
I mean, it does help. I mean, but people, man, I have a friend, Chelsea. She booked a feature film on her own. I mean, it's just, we're in that age now where you can reach out to someone on everything,
Right.
Facebook,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But
That's usually how I do it.
if I was I think it'd be cool as a composer, man. Like if you can find the next Tim Burton and come up with him, like, you know, because
yeah.
everybody's got to have a predecessor of some
Yeah.
sort, you know, and that's kind of where my band's stuck in limbo with music. We're like new metal, Limp Bizkit type stuff. Is there really is gatekeepers, and you just
Yeah.
got to keep putting stuff out there. And but I'm stoked for you, man. So
Thanks.
what film won the award? Was that the one?
So it was a film by one of my good friends that I've worked with few years now. I guess 2 or 3 years now. His name's Paul South. It was this film called The Bellman.
The Bellman.
Yeah.
Is it on Prime or anything?
So it's circulating festivals.
Oh, is
so-
that the one the festival that's coming up?
No, this is a different one.
Damn, man, you're busy then.
Yeah. Actually, just last week I finished 2 films. Yeah, I'm pretty busy.
Nice, man.
Yeah, I got 2 films already done this year.
What happens when the director? Because I've never been on this side of it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I've always wondered, like, does the director sometimes he don't like it and you got to go back to the lab with it? Or?
Sometimes, usually not. Usually I'm pretty good about especially if I've worked with them before, I usually know what they're looking for. And there is a few times where they're like, they don't really not like what I did. They just would like to be more to it. And that's kind of how I work anyways. I'll usually have like, you know, a first draft of the score where, you know, it's what I thought it would be. And I'm always like pretty good at like, if you want anything else added to it, you know, let me know. Like I'm totally fine with it. If it's complete shit and you want me to redo it, I will. Like I'm not, you know.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Like
when you're doing it though, are you in the like? Is there no other? Are you in the zone with it?
Yeah, I'm in the zone
like,
with
no,
it.
You have a girlfriend now?
No.
No, but like if you did, would it have to be like leave me alone? I'm in the zone.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I can't fucking focus on two things at once. To save my life.
No,
man.
I have
Horrible.
to be focused on it. And it was actually kind of hard finishing these two films because I had them both at the same time, and it's just like this back and forth of like, this one, because this one's more classical, classical, and this one's more electronical and synthesizers, and it's like it's really hard to go back and forth like that. So
what is the scene here? What is the film scene here? Is there actually like a big one? Is it?
It's pretty, it's fair size, yeah.
Because I do big movies shoot here because I know everything's moving out of LA. Like
so, no, just because there was no tax incentives, Missouri didn't offer any for filmmakers, so
of course,
nobody would film here.
Georgia did. Yeah, I mean Georgia's huge now on that stuff. And
well, so actually, I think it was mid last year they actually offer a tax incentive now. So people can film here. It's not very much. I think it's like $8,000.
Is anything famous shot here?
No, not that I know of.
Didn't they showed Kansas City in that HBO apocalyptic show, I think.
Oh, that was probably The Last of Us, yeah.
That was probably CGI, right?
No, they did actually film
Oh,
here.
they did.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I don't know how much of it though. And I don't know where. I don't remember where it was.
Is a show like Stranger Things or any like stuff you'd want to do too?
Oh,
like
100%.
Like stuff like that?
No, yeah. That's the kind of stuff I like.
What's up? This episode is sponsored by Fiddy's Espresso in the Northland. Thank you for watching the Drinks on Dave podcast. Please remember to like and subscribe at the bottom of the screen. Now back to the episode. So aside from Stranger Things, like Steven, my producer director, what's your thing with modern art? You hate it?
Yeah.
Like, give me an example, because when I think of modern art, I think of a college kid that went to 4 years of college for $300,000. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. Modern art is just, I don't know. In my opinion, it's just crap.
Is that what would you like? Paintings? Is that what we're talking about, or what? Because I don't even know what it is.
Like abstract art. I mean,
some of it's bad. Like most of all of it's bad. But
yeah, I don't know.
Are these the ones that like rich people buy for like $500,000 and shit?
Yeah. Like one. I don't even know who the artist was. It was just a banana taped to a wall with duct tape. It sold for like $200,000.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I was watching Lars from Metallica bought something. It did not look good. It was like he paid something outrageous for it.
Yeah.
So
it's ridiculous.
But yeah, Steven was real big on me asking you about that. So it's
I saw this video of this guy. He had canvases in the like leaned up against trees, and he took like big branches and like dipped them in paint and just slapped the canvas with these branches. And he sold. They were like on his website for like $4,000. And that's all it was he just took sticks and slapped them up against the canvas.
You need a side hustle, ladies and gentlemen. I think we found one. My God. I mean,
crazy.
And I'm out here doing 13-hour days, and people are selling that shit for $4,000.
Well,
do you do paintings too?
Yeah, I'm an artist too, and I can hardly sell mine most of the time.
Have you sold something?
Yes. I've sold 3 originals and a bunch of prints and stuff.
Where do you sell them from?
Oh, you can get them on my website.
Oh, you have a web?
Yep.
Okay. Plug your website.
Dill Undervvood.com.
There you go.
With 2 V's in lieu of a W.
How do you, do they contact you via Instagram or your website?
That's usually how I do it, yeah.
How do you price it out?
You can just hit me up. They're $50 a print.
Oh, okay.
And I print them myself, so.
And they're hand-drawn and all that?
The drawings are hand-drawn, yeah.
Damn.
Yep. Yeah, I use charcoal, soft pastels, and I have like a bunch of stamps too that I'll throw in there, and like I really like using stamps, and
You got to hit up bands, man, for artwork, album work and stuff. Bands.
Yeah, a lot of my style, it's like I've gotten a lot of like people think it would be good for like black metal bands.
Like Tool or not,
Yeah.
or even like kind of like psychedelic stuff like that. Or
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
the black
Just
metal.
You know,
Yeah.
Eye of the Beholder, yeah.
There you go, man. So what else do you do? Like this has been, out of all our guests, you have definitely the jack of most trades for sure.
Yeah.
Like, so what do you do music as a band anymore? You said
I do my own thing, yeah. I play, you know, drums.
What instruments do you play?
I play drums, bass, guitar. I have cello, keyboard. So I play all. I grew up like trying to be in bands, and I was always the bass player because it was easier to get a job as the bass player.
Growing up here, what was the music scene? Because I left in 07. It was gone. It was like the Riot Room, Uptown,
Yeah.
Piano Bar, all that
It
stuff.
was more like hardcore bands, like screamo bands, pop punk bands, stuff like that.
When the Kill Switch Engaged era was
Yeah,
really
pretty
hard.
much, yeah.
I
Or
know
like
that
when
was
Warped Tour was a
Westport.
thing. Yeah.
I grew up going to the Beaumont Club,
Mhm.
so that was my stomping ground. I talked to the Stacys about that. That all the like impactful shows in my life were at the Beaumont Club,
Yeah.
Westport, and all that.
Yeah,
We
for
played the
sure.
Riot Room once before it got wrecked into or
Yeah.
something.
That was a couple years ago. That was during COVID. I think it was 2020.
So it was definitely that Suicide Silence, Kill Switch Engaged
Stuff like that.
scene.
Yeah. That was really popular around then.
Because how is it? Because in LA, the Sunset Strip, it's dead. It died.
Is
I mean,
it?
the whiskey, a go-go, which I love the whiskey. My bands play there a lot, but yeah, I mean, it's not like the Motley Crue era is gone.
For sure.
It's just hard to get people out, man. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, there's that too. Yeah.
Like now, when I look at a band, I look at how young is your following. I mean, if the kids ain't into you, like
Right.
Because our people our age, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
Right.
We want the kids. My
Yes.
band anyway. Like we want.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You got to have the next generation, man.
Exactly. But no, that is 100% true.
Because the shows I have gone to out here, I even noticed the same thing. I'm looking around, I'm like, man, these guys are like, there's no one. I mean, I was sneaking into shows when I was 17, 18.
Right.
It's changed a lot, man. It's just, I don't know and you see the Spotify CEO, you see what he said?
No.
Well, the reason he's not paying musicians and everybody on that has anything on Spotify is he says it doesn't cost anything to make it.
What?
It's like, you motherfucker. Yeah, it does, dude. Yeah, that's this, because I think we talked about this on the Stacey's episode too. Snoop Dogg came out and said like a billion streams pays $40,000.
That's insane.
So I mean, you do the math there, and the Spotify CEO is not budging on that.
That's crazy.
So anything you put in, I'd keep your work off Spotify.
No, I don't even have Spotify. I use Tidal actually.
Yeah, that's
'Cause-
big too.
Because they pay more royalties to their.
I mean, when you're in a band, as you know, or a musician, you got to have your shit accessible to everybody. So Spotify is a big one, but it's just, I don't know where art is heading, at least musicianship and all that, especially when people are selling paintings for $4,000, throwing shit on a canvas. I mean,
Yeah.
I just don't know. If you're doing anything in the arts nowadays, you've got to be truly passionate about it.
100%.
I mean, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's what this AI thing is it's trying to replace artists for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why AI, why that was the first thing that they're doing with AI is making artwork. Like, AI should be working our factories and we should be making art. You know what I mean?
Have you seen that crazy shit about the actors where if you're an extra, they can use your face in movies moving forward?
Wow, no.
So like what they're doing now is like extras, like at a coffee shop scene in a movie, they can take your face and put it in another movie, in a spaceship movie, the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. They can use your likeness and all that. So you got to be, it's getting
Interesting.
crazy. I mean, that's what the big strike was about.
Right,
like,
100%.
stuff like that.
Yeah, like they're trying to use AI to replace all the writers. Like, why?
Well, for fun, I've been using this app and I'm annoying the fuck out of everybody with it, but you can take any Snoop Dogg song and you put it in this AI app and it can turn it into a Tim McGraw country song.
Oh, really?
It's scary. I mean, I do it because I'm bored and I like making them, but AI is getting to that level now where I can, I want a new metal Limp Bizkit type song with a crazy breakdown, and it generates it.
Wow.
Something that my band couldn't come up with. like
Yeah.
on the fly,
It's
or
insane.
even with months of preparation.
It's insane.
So I don't know, man. And now it's getting to where like kids can create their own band on AI and make the music they want to listen. I think we're still far out from that.
It's just replacing artists.
Fuck, it's replacing everything, man.
That's insane. I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
I'm not either, and it's I don't know. They made a movie about this. They made many movies. Terminator comes to mind on this shit, man.
I mean,
But
even The Matrix.
The Matrix too. It's just getting that way, and like I think we won't see it really hit in our lifetime. I hope not, but I mean, like 40, 50 years from now, man. I don't.
Well, I don't know. We have computers in our pockets now,
That's true.
and that's only been a thing for how many years? 20 years.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I graduated high school in 2005. My class was like the last. I had a flip phone,
Right. Me
and
too.
then the iPhone. Yeah. Well, what year did you graduate?
2012.
So you kind of had the
that's
smartphone
when it
kind of
started
tail end
coming
of it.
out. Yeah.
I mean, how was that going to high school in the social media era? Because I always said I'd be fucked.
I
was
didn't
so bad.
I didn't use it when I was in
'Cause
high school.
Facebook was just kind of starting, right?
Yeah.
Kind of still.
Yeah, I think Facebook started when I was a freshman. I
'Cause
think.
you had to be in college to have one. I remember
Back
that.
then,
like,
yeah.
Back then.
But then they made it public.
So I mean, you were kind of right at the tail end of the big burst in that. I mean, was high school weird with
No,
smartphones, or
not
everyone
really.
was still kind of in the moment, not just
Yeah.
on their.
Yeah, 100%. Like I feel lucky that like, I still did shit when I was a kid. I went outside and, even me and my friends, we'd go get high and run around in the woods.
Now it'd have to be a selfie on TikTok,
Yeah.
or a TikTok about getting high. in the
Right,
woods.
exactly.
It's scary, man, and like
It's insane.
I'm in no room to talk. My iPhone told me like what I spent scrolling last week was. I'm like, what the 17 hours
Yeah.
I spent on my phone.
Yeah.
Because iPhone just tells you shit sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I actually just deleted my apps on my phone.
I mean, all the stupid shit you say on Facebook Messenger, Snapchat, that's never deleted.
No,
People think it is, but it's not.
it's not.
I mean, because if you ever get in big trouble,
It's just deleted from you.
It's deleted. Yeah, exactly. It's all.
It's still there.
So I mean, if I could rewind time, I would stay off the grid, and that's, I think, a celebrity or anyone, composer, actor, musician, anyone trying to, if you've been off the grid your whole life, I think that makes you so much more unique and mysterious.
100%.
Like what you're doing now, like,
Yeah.
because if they meet you and you're not that accessible, like that's, me, I'm on everything. I post 20 times a day, all day long.
Well, yeah. Well, I have a hard time messaging people back anyways, so I think if I just got rid of it in total, it'd be fine.
I mean, do you think you could, if you were forced to be that guy? Do you think you could even do it? Just
Forced to be what guy?
just post all the time and
Oh no.
all videos,
Couldn't do it.
TikToks.
No. I've thought about doing that just because it is a good way to because when you're an artist, you're not really selling your art. You're selling your personality.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have thought about doing that, but that's not my personality. So there's no point
It
in me
wouldn't come
doing
off
that.
real anyway. That'd be-
Right. Right.
That'd be
It would just be
horrible.
nonsense.
That'd be horrible
Yeah.
for someone like you, man. Because either I'm an attention whore, you either are or you aren't. And if you're
Yeah.
not and you're trying it, it's just cringe. It's
See,
so bad.
yeah. See, I am, but I don't want I would like to be the center of attention, but I don't want to be.
Yeah.
Just like my music and leave me alone, kind of
I
vibe.
mean, you're in a good in between with a composer. I mean, those are always
Right.
that's always a mysterious kind of
Yeah.
like.
That's one of the reasons why I did it, because I could still make music and be behind the scenes. Because
So the Western movie that my producer director did that I didn't
Yeah.
know he did. What was this about? Like, you said it changed your life.
just doing the score for it, because it was really.
Was it a short or a feature?
Yeah, it was a short film.
short.
Yeah, I actually did it right at the peak of COVID. It was like right when COVID hit. I got the film from him, and so me and my girlfriend at the time, we actually we were just stuck in her apartment, and I was just like, why don't we just go out to St. Louis and just hang out with your mom for this whole time, so she's not alone, because she lived in Ferguson, and that was right around the riots and stuff were happening too. So we're like, let's go hang out with her for until this all blows over or something. And so we did, and I just brought, I think the lineup for the score was just my acoustic guitar, electric guitar, cello, a recorder, and a bowl of rice. Was like the only things that I used to make the score. And it just like, because I was, in St. Louis, I was away from my studio, and that was just all I brought with me. And it like kind of forced me to be more creative with it, like it gave me an opportunity to really explore just some of the plugins and stuff that come with the DAW that I use. And like, yeah, it was really cool.
Because I mean, it's easy to set at a computer, man, with 70 sounds,
Right.
700 bells.
I tried not to do that.
So the Western, like this film that like changed everything for you, like what was it about? Like,
So it was about an outlaw on the run, and bounty hunters chasing after him.
gotcha.
And they kind of end up in this spot. It's called Sacred Grounds. They ended up in this like Native American sacred ground area, and it kind of has this this little Native American girls kind of like witnessing their shootout, if you will. And it was cool because like I added like little like sounds to each character whenever they popped up on screen. So like that's what I used the recorder for.
That's cool.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun working on that film.
It was
a lot of
just
fun.
like fun. See, that's what makes it the best.
It was also different, because I was doing horror films and like just doing creepy sounds, and like it was cool with this one because now I got to make like now I got to use my guitar and like had some blues riffs in it, and yeah, it was just
That's cool as
That was
fuck.
what really changed it for me, is because like I get
One person I want to touch on, like Ari Aster, like what do you think his scores are like? Like Hereditary, which is I think one of the best horror movies in the last 30 years. Like it was almost a happy score, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
his scores are just.
well, even Midsommar was
just
like kind of a happy film. It just took place in the daytime, and it was just, but it was still so creepy.
Like from a composer to a composer, like I mean, you give that has to be like you're like,
Yeah.
damn, that's fucking cool.
No, I went and saw Midsommar 6 times in theaters. When it came out, I couldn't stop going.
Because now that you're on
was
that
so
side
good.
of it, you probably you're like, damn, that was smart
Yeah.
what he did there. Like, that was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you put traditional horror sound over Midsommar, it's
It wouldn't be the same.
no. But that ending scene, that beautiful when everyone's catching on fire, so it's so cool, man.
Yeah. It's
So
really cool.
to slowly wrap it up, like any young person or anyone like that just hates their day job and wants to try this, like what would you suggest? If you want to compose, where would you even start? Like
I don't know.
like just like from within, like just I mean sounds.
Find out what you want to do, and I don't know, just trust your gut. Trust your gut.
Yep.
If you're, I just started by having a crazy idea that somebody I knew probably knew somebody,
And The Witch,
it
you
did.
said, right? You were laying like
Well,
seeing
yeah.
that movie. You're like, damn,
That really made me want to do it. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch that tonight. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it in forever, but I mean, now that I know that's, where a lot of motivation for you came, that'd be cool to watch that.
Yeah.
So
Watch it. Watch it with subtitles because it is in old English. It's kind of hard to understand. I had to like read it while I'm listening to it. Cause
what was that about again? Like the wit?
it's about a family that they get kicked off their plantation because they were questioning the faith of the plantation. So the plantation banished them, and so they had to like travel to find their own place to start their own farm. And the place they ended up was haunted by a witch.
Is it a horror movie?
It is a
It's
horror
been so
movie.
long since I've seen it, but I've seen it.
It's a horror
It's been
movie
a
for
while.
sure.
So what, like, real quick, because one of my favorite authors and like movie genre is Stephen King. Obviously, like, so Pet Cemetery, all that kind of
Yep.
stuff. Is that influences too?
I
Or
wouldn't say influences, but I do enjoy them.
just the
Just enjoy
aesthetics
them.
of it?
Yeah.
Is from all that? Because I
Yeah.
always wondered, that's a different kind of horror. I mean,
Right.
that's like cult following horror
Yeah.
and stuff. Because you watch Puppet Master, all those 80s horror movies now, it's almost comical, the score, but
Yeah.
but it's still scary.
That's how I score usually with like that kind of, because a lot of scores nowadays, like it's not super like it's not actually a score. It's just kind of music over, and it does have cues here and there, like when action's happening. But I score them a little bit more traditionally, to where like there's a specific sound.
Yeah.
When something brushes across, like there's a specific sound going on, or and oddly enough, actually, the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was a big influence on my scoring too, because if you watch that show, you'll hear like anytime Bulk and Skull is in, like they have their little theme song, and if it cuts back to like the Power Rangers, the music changes to the Power Rangers, and then it's like back to their little theme song. And it's just like back and forth, and when you listen to the music, it's like it's cool because it's like the and whatever. But
Are we talking about the OG?
Power Rangers.
The best.
If you watch, like when I watched it, I was watching it on a road trip or something, and I noticed that in the music. I'm like, that's very interesting. It's not like a steady track. It's
Time went into it.
right.
Yeah,
No, 100%. And so I got a lot of inspiration on that, and just even working on the Sacred Grounds film, like using specific sounds whenever a character comes into the thing. That was another thing too.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, what are you drinking? We're at Fitty's again in Kansas City, coffee shop.
Italian soda. It's pretty
What is
good.
it?
I think it's the Italian soda.
How is it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Really
I love
good?
it. Yep.
So what do you let everybody know? Because, our Drinks on Dave podcast viewers, what do you got coming up? Like
So I actually designed my own deck of cards that I'm getting printed here pretty soon.
that's cool as fuck.
Yeah, all the I've been writing this story for a couple years now about a cult actually, and the decks of cards kind of introduce all the characters to the story. I don't want to give too much away about it. But,
don't. That's cool.
it takes place in a casino because I work in a casino, so I wanted to base around that, and yeah.
Cool, man.
Yep.
Keep all that stuff in your head. People jack you. You gotta let people know, but not give too much away. 'Cause
Exactly.
People jack that shit.
I think I'm gonna make it into a comic book first.
Cool.
Because I'm an artist too, so
Yeah.
I was thinking about turning it into a comic book before, and then possibly a television show, but we'll see.
Content is content. Well, I mean that could be a whole other universe right there.
Right.
So how do people follow you? You're on Instagram.
Yep. Instagram, Dill Undervvood. I have a website, DillUndervvood.com.
You popped right up on Facebook.
Yeah.
When I looked for him.
Dill.
So.
Dill, not Bill.
Yeah.
Dill.
So can filmmakers hire you? Are you for hire? Okay,
100%.
cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people in that industry, at least for my LA people, will be watching this. So I hope they see it. And
Yep. And on my website, it has all my art, all my music. I have every score that I've ever done on my website, so all references there.
What was the rap group called?
Oh.
Hey, you ain't gonna tell me nothing. I haven't I respect it.
Well, you won't be able to find the rap group anywhere. That's
What was
just
the
kinda-
name? It's always
we
starts
called
with-
ourselves TVMALSD.
Okay. What did it
Yeah.
stand for?
Temulant Vacation, Mutilating Authority. I don't remember what the LSD stood for.
It sounds
It was
like-
something crazy.
I love it. Did you guys have merch and all that stuff?
No, we didn't. we
Never
just-
even got that
no,
far.
No. I tried to get us to go in that direction, but they didn't want to. So
Yeah,
it's
you
kinda
got to
worked
have
out.
everybody on board.
Yeah,
That's why
they weren't about it.
my
So,
bands had more members than the Eagles for sure, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have that's why you work for yourself most of the time, and that's how it's got to be. No one gives a fuck as much as you care.
Exactly.
That's what you got to surround
And I
yourself.
can't make them show
You can't.
up. So
You can't. So, all right, Dill, my brother. I hope to one day work in a movie that you composed. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Because that's my dream. First and before anything is acting, and I'm a big fan of you now that I met you, man. I think you're
Thank you.
awesome, and I really appreciate you coming through. And to our viewers out here, we are at Fitty's in Kansas City Coffee Shop, baby. Our new home for the Drinks on Dave podcast. Shout out to that family and everybody involved. And man, I hope you have a good shift tonight. I know how it is. Like you do this and then you got to go to work. I'm the same way, man. I work hard and long like you do. So I wish you nothing but the best, man, and
Thanks, you
keep
too.
trucking. And hopefully you inspire somebody that's watching this. So cheers
thank
one more
you.
time, bro.
Yeah. Thank you for
Thank
having
you,
me.
guys.
Cheers.
Thanks for checking out the Drinks on Dave podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe below so you never miss an episode, because you never know who's going to show up and have a drink on Dave.
Modern art is just, I don't know, in my opinion, it's just crap.